Welcome everybody back to another episode of Maximize Your Potential with your host, Donovin Darius. The purpose of this show is I like to spread a spotlight and highlight individuals in the community that are doing things for people, empowering people, organizations, and have them come on and kind of share that. I'm all about empowering people, lifting them up, understanding that you can use your platform to help many people beyond just your circle. And so today we have Mr. Daniel Bean. He owns a law firm. He's doing some great things, helping organizations, and he also has a heart for the community. And so we're going to discuss that with him. So welcome to the show, Mr.
Thank you, sir. Bean. I appreciate the opportunity.
So tell us a little bit, before we were talking, and you said you were a former naval captain. Tell us about that time.
Well, I was a ROTC at Vanderbilt University, and my first assignment was in Mayport, Florida, and I was on a warship, and just really enjoyed North Florida. Once I was done with that for 2 years, then I went up to San Diego and really had a great time there. Driving warships for about 4 years all around the world. So it was great with the Navy, and it also paid for my education at Vanderbilt. And then I just drove too many warships into too many piers, and the Navy said, you're too costly to us. We'll send you to law school. You can sit behind a desk and do that and not hurt machinery and steel, but help others. So I I went to law school at the University of San Diego, and then was able to come back to North Florida, where I spent the next 4 years on active duty, did 11 years of active duty, but really liked Jacksonville. And as I said, I wanted my kids to know in elementary school where they were going to go to high school, and we were fortunate enough to transition into civilian life, and then I also stayed in the reserves at the same time. And my kids, went to elementary, middle school, and high school here in the Duval County Public School System, got great educations, and as I was telling you, my son yesterday graduated from New York University, and my daughter graduated from Notre Dame 2 years ago, and they're off and running, and so I'm very proud of them.
Well, congratulations for that, especially being a father, understanding how it is with our children. And so you said you moved to Jacksonville, and you started a law firm. Tell us a little bit about what you guys do.
Sure. So the law firm is really two sides to the law firm. We're trial lawyers. We represent folks in civil matters, helping people mainly with breaches of contract and those types of things. And then a couple years ago, we saw a niche for companies that don't have a general counsel that should have a general counsel. Whether they do it for financial reasons or whether they can just operate on their own without a general counsel. And so we provide an opportunity for them to use us as their general counsel as they need us, so they can keep their legal costs down, but then they also get the experience of Mike and myself, and then we've grown to almost 14 people here in about 14 months, and 6 of the 7 of us have been in-house before working with companies, so there's really not an issue that a company sees that we haven't experienced. Mike and I have both been lawyers for 25 years apiece, and we also have a former general counsel of Walgreens for 30 years who saw a lot of things doing work for Walgreens. So between us all, we're really able to help companies, and I've enjoyed the diversity of different issues other than just being a trial lawyer, going to court every day, helping companies buy and sell, or employee issues, or non-disclosure agreements, or anything like that, just operating the nuts and bolts of operating a company. And that's been great to diversify our revenue. In case the litigation may fall off, we always have the general counsel work to balance it out. And one feeds the other occasionally, so it's been a lot of fun. We do a tremendous amount of work in the community for companies, nonprofits.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, because one of the things that we were talking about before was about the things you do with mentoring and your affinity to help veterans. And so tell us a little bit about that, because that's very close to my heart, us having our foundation and things you guys do. So what are some of the things that you're passionate about with the
family? Well, I believe life can be divided into 3 phases: learning, earning, and returning. And so I'm beyond the learning phase and the earning phase. Now it's about returning, sort of what you do for the last 11 years.
I like that.
And so I have a passion for veterans. I think that I have 4 veterans that I work with, all suffer from PTSD, some more than others, but some I see every day, some I don't see for a month or so, but it's very helpful for them to have a sort of a big brother type of person that they can call and ask advice, or we assist in different ways. Obviously, I think it's very important for them, and I really enjoy a great deal of that. I have a female Army that I've worked with for the last 3 years, and She's doing quite well, got married, reconciled with her child, spent 8 years in prison after she came back from Iraq with a post-traumatic stress disorder event. And so, you know, it's been very gratifying for me to be able to help her retransition back into civilian sector.
And I love that. I love it when people understand how they can take their platform and use it for good beyond.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a personal part, there's a professional part, and then what can we do also, you know, for the community. And so it's wonderful, man, the things that you're doing, the things you have done, and the things that you will continue to do. Well, I'm glad that you got a chance to be on the show. If you don't mind, just share with the viewers, how can they get in contact with you if they need your services or just anything you're doing with mental?
Sure. I just, you know, the internet's a wonderful thing. My last name's not that common, so you just Daniel Bean, you can find me. But I also, you know, encourage your viewers to do what you and I have done, and that is to recognize that there are a lot of others out there that could use a little bit of help. And it doesn't take a lot, and it just means a great deal to them. And to steer them or to bridge, make life a little bit easier for them, you can make a world of difference.
Awesome. Well, thank you again,
yes,
Daniel,
sir.
for being
thank
here.
You.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Well, this concludes another episode of Maximize Your Potential. I want to thank Mr. Daniel Bean again, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next episode.